If you've already been on a house hunting trip here in France or already bought a property, you've no doubt come across a notary. And when you go to the offices, you've no doubt noticed the emblematic oval sign outside. But did you realise there's a lot more history to that than just being a simple sign? It all started back in the 15th century during the 100-Year War. You know, when all the English versus French and the French versus English propaganda all started up.
You don't frighten us, English pig dogs! You and all your silly English niggas!
In those days, you need to remember that most of the population were illiterate. So the notary was responsible for all the deeds, documents, agreements, etc. The notaries used to have banners hanging outside their homes embroidered with the royal coat of arms to show who they were. But it was also to protect them. During periods of civil unrest, it was like them walking around with a white flag. Don't pillage or rob me. I have all your legal documents here. Admittedly, I don't think that's the best argument in those cases, but it seemed to work in those days. The sign then evolved over the centuries, going from a material banner to a wooden sign to a metal sign. The original metal sign actually had the fleur-de-lis to represent the French royalty. Then that went on to the Napoleonic eagle for obvious reasons.
By Napoleon.
Finally to be replaced by the goddess Junon, which under Greek mythology I believe is actually the goddess of women, justice and good fortune. You also find on the emblem some wheat to represent the actual rural area of France and a cog to actually represent the industrial areas of France. And to find a little detail, there's like a vase underneath the goddess Junon, she's sitting on it I think, with the letters SU. What's SU? It stands for Suffrage Universel. Basically that is to indicate the notary is a neutral party. You still see some signs, or the older generation, or slightly older generation, let's say, hanging around, which are surrounded by a frame of flames, almost like a sun icon. That was to indicate to the firemen that that house needed to be protected in case of a street fire. But what's that got to do with your deeds, I hear you ask? In France, when you purchase a property, you will be sent a copy of your deeds via the post, or sometimes you need to pick them up directly from notaries once they've been stamped and registered. But, and this is a very big but, they are not the only copy, unlike the UK. There's also a copy in the cadastral office, there's a copy in the tax office, and the notary will hold on to a copy for 30 years in his offices. After that it's then sent down to the local archives. So what is the moral of this story? Well, as I often say to clients, if your house is burning down, unlike the UK, don't run in to grab your deeds. Just go down your notary and ask for another copy. And always, if you find this helpful, don't forget to click that old like, subscribe and bell button down there. Gives me a bit of a buzz if nothing else. Speak soon. Bye.